Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now it is happening. Bitcoin is starting to break out above this key area of resistance as the short squeeze is perfectly playing out, as I've been talking about. But we also have a new warning signal that we need to pay attention to for Bitcoin right now. So in just a moment, I'll be talking about my exact Bitcoin trading strategy and sharing with you how I plan to profit from this next move alongside the price of Solana, which is currently bouncing from a key level on the price chart, while the price of Chainlink is coming in for another retest of this critical area of resistance. So I'll be talking about all of that and so much more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the 4-day Bitcoin price chart, and right now the super trend indicator is still sitting in the red, so nothing's changed on this chart over the last 1 day. So getting straight into this weekly Bitcoin chart, and technically speaking, the bearish divergence is still there on the weekly time frame, so not a lot has changed on this chart over the last 1 day. But taking a look at this weekly Bitcoin chart, of course, as I've already been talking about over the last few weeks, for almost a month now, we've seen declining bearish momentum. In other words, we're moving closer towards a bullish crossover here in the weekly Bitcoin MACD. And the last couple of times this has happened in this indicator for the price of Bitcoin on this time frame, we were already in the recovery stage out of these pullbacks here, getting ready to start to flip more bullish again. But of course, we have not yet seen the new bullish crossover. And based on these last two times back here, of course, once we actually saw the bullish crossover, we flipped even more bullish. We started to gain more bullish momentum. So potentially we still have much more bullish price action to come, at least based on the weekly Bitcoin MACD. And if we're taking a look at this 3-day Bitcoin price chart, as of right now, we're testing and possibly starting to break out above this key area of resistance based on the volume profile indicator, which is mainly sitting at around 96,000, but also really in between around 96 to 97,000. That's the key area of resistance that we need to break out above. So ideally breaking out above 97,000, at least based on this chart right here. And so there's still the possibility we could struggle a little bit around there. But of course, overall, once again, we are looking bullish in terms of the recovery here, starting to regain some bullish momentum. And of course, as I've been mentioning for a while now on the channel, we're already playing out a double bottom pattern, a W pattern, which is one of the reasons as to why I entered a long position at this breakout, which I shared back then. And I'll talk more about my exact trading strategy in just a moment. But first, taking a look at this daily Bitcoin price chart, and right now looking at the bullish divergence, technically this is still in play. It is still active for the price of Bitcoin, which means continue to expect either a bullish relief in the price or at the very least a bit of choppy sideways price action here and there as the most common outcomes from a bullish divergence. And now, of course, it is worth pointing out that the daily Bitcoin RSI is still relatively close to overbought territories. Now, it's not in overbought territories yet, so technically we still have a little bit more room towards the upside here, but just keep that in mind. Technically, we did not really see a massive reset over the last 1 week. It was just a little reset, which obviously helped basically give us a little bit more room towards the upside here, but not necessarily a massive amount. But overall, once again, we are still more bullish than bearish based on the bullish divergence here. And if we're taking a look at this daily Bitcoin price chart, as of recording this video, the price of Bitcoin is now attempting a breakout above this very important area of resistance, the golden pocket area of resistance, and that's sitting in between around 94,500 to 95,500. So ideally, we need to see this daily candle close confirm above ideally 96,000, and even better if we confirm above 97,000. That will basically confirm a breakout above this very important resistance. And once we can actually see that confirmed breakout with a candle close above that level, in that situation, we could find some short-term resistance at around 98,500, and also potentially a bit of resistance at close to 101,000. But other than that, honestly, once we confirm a breakout with candle closes above this resistance at give or take 96,000, we're essentially on our way towards all-time highs again. And so just keep this in mind. This is potentially a very bullish signal if it confirms. Once again, we're still waiting for confirmation. There's still the possibility that this could just be a candle wick towards the upside if we do see a quick rejection very soon. And one possible warning signal that could cause that to happen in the short term is this 4-hour time frame here, with the RSI, at least on the 4-hour time frame, still currently sitting in lower highs, while the price of Bitcoin is actually creating a higher high. And so this is is possibly about to create a new bearish divergence that we need to pay attention to, but it is important to understand that at least for now, that possible new bearish divergence is not currently confirmed. It's just a possible warning signal that is currently forming. But if we confirm this breakout here with ideally that daily candle close above 96,000 and head just a little bit higher, that will pull the RSI further towards the upside here on the 4-hour time frame, creating higher highs, meaning no more bearish divergence. And if we're taking a quick look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, obviously just over the last one day, we perfectly, exactly as expected, took out this liquidity, which was sitting at roughly around 96,000. And obviously, if you've been watching my channel over the last couple of weeks, you'll know how accurate this chart has been for the price of Bitcoin. Obviously, you'll know that I perfectly predicted this short squeeze before it happened, thanks to this liquidation heat map. And also, I exactly predicted this short-term bullish move before it happened. Check my last few videos here on the channel. I talked about exactly this happening. And so now that the price of Bitcoin is perfectly playing out as I've been talking about, what is my Bitcoin trading strategy? And well, right now, I'm simply long on the price of Bitcoin, as I've been talking about every day here on the channel for over a week. Since much lower prices, I've been telling you we are looking bullish. I am long on the price of Bitcoin, and so far this has been playing out perfectly. Once again, we should all be making profits if you're following my channel. And so this trade right here, even though it's a relatively small trade, has just made a quick 6,000 USD in profits. And if you want to take these trades for yourself, of course, I'm taking this trade right here over on 2bit. So I'll make sure to leave a link to 2bit below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here where you can claim some massive trading bonuses, like for example, up to $50,000 in trading rewards. And on top of that, if you're not one of these larger traders here, you can also claim a $30 sign up bonus and a 20% deposit rebate up to a max of 200 USDT. So for example, if you deposit $1,000, you get a $200 bonus, but only if you use that link to 2bit. And in case you're wondering, 2bit is a no KYC exchange, which means you can access it from basically any country in the world without needing any KYC. But as always, check your local regulations when it comes to trading crypto. And for whatever reason, if you don't want 2bit as an exchange, there's also BTNex as another exchange out there that I also trade on. So I'll also make sure to leave a link to BTNex below this video. And if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here where you can also claim some massive trading rewards, like up to 35,000 in USDT. And even if you're not trading these larger amounts, you can also get some decent deposit bonuses here. Like for example, deposit $1,000, you get a $200 bonus over on BTNex as well. And so if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. Once again, the first and second link below this video. And in case you're wondering, BTNex is also a no KYC exchange. But with that being said, taking a look at my exact Bitcoin trading strategy, and once again, I'm clearly long on the price of Bitcoin, as you can see, and my stop loss is sitting in profits above my entry price. And in terms of taking profits or switching the trade around, as of right now, I'm simply not changing the current trading strategy. And as I've been saying this entire time, potentially at key points of resistance, I may look to take some further profits from that trade, as I did just here. I took a small amount of profits, just slightly reducing the size of the trade right around here. But once again, that was only slightly reducing the size of the trade, not closing the trade altogether. I'm still long on the price of Bitcoin, benefiting from this bullish price action. But then perhaps, let's just say, once we run into some of these other points of resistance, I may look to take a little bit more profits off the table out of this Bitcoin long position. And also, as I usually do, and as I share here on the channel, as the trade moves further and further into profits, I'll slowly move my stop loss further and further into profits, so that in the worst case scenario, if we just suddenly crash for whatever reason, that will hit the stop loss and automatically close the trade in profits at that level. And so that is my current exact Bitcoin trading strategy, sharing very transparently here on the channel exactly how I'm planning to profit from this Bitcoin move. And once again, if you want to easily profit just like this, check out those links below this video to those exchanges if you want to claim those massive bonuses. But with that being said, taking a look at Ethereum on the weekly time frame, and technically speaking, the larger bearish trend has not changed over the last one day. So technically speaking, this is still somewhat of a bear market for Ethereum. But of course, in the shorter term, we are seeing a decent bounce, a good bullish relief in the short term from this significant area of support sitting in between around 1.4K to 1550. So not a lot has changed over the last one day on this chart. And if we're taking a look at the daily Ethereum price chart, right now the price is once again holding above this key Fibonacci level, which is sitting at around 1.8K. And so for now, that is currently acting as short-term support around 1790 to 1.8K. And as for resistance, we have some short-term resistance at just above 1.9k, and the next significant point of resistance is sitting at around 2.1k. And as I've been saying over and over again here on the channel, expect similar price action for Ethereum as what Bitcoin is doing. And so in other words, if Bitcoin continues this breakout here in the short term, that can help Ethereum and a lot of the altcoin market with a continued short-term bullish relief. But other than that, not a lot has changed for Ethereum over the last one day. So getting straight into the price of Solana on the 3-day time frame right now, the bullish divergence is still playing out. It is still active on the 3-day Solana chart, which means continue to expect a bullish relief just like this, or maybe a bit of short-term choppy sideways price action as the most likely outcomes from a bullish divergence. And if we're taking a look at the daily Solana price chart, as of right now, we are holding above this important Fibonacci level based on previous resistance, flipping into new support, and that's sitting at around 146 to 147. And so we actually have a bit of good news in the short term, the fact that we did not fully confirm that break below 146. We actually ended up confirming the candle close back above 146 to 147. So for now, we are still holding that key level on the price chart as support, which once again is bullish price structure. And so overall, Solana is still looking more bullish than it is bearish, especially now that we've created the first higher high that we've seen in the price of Solana for months, since pretty much the beginning of the year. And the next major points of resistance to watch out for are sitting at approximately 167, around 179, and this area in between 191 to 200. And with that being said, if we're taking a look at XRP on the 3-day time frame, at least for now, this massive bearish divergence, which confirmed months ago here on the channel, is still affecting the price of XRP. It is still technically active because we've not yet fully confirmed an invalidation signal to invalidate the bearish divergence. So keep that in mind, but really overall, not a lot has changed over the last one day on this chart. So if we're taking a look at the daily XRP price chart, for now, the price is still within a short-term bullish relief that is within a larger descending parallel channel, which is effectively a bearish trend. But once again, in the shorter term, we are technically looking more bullish than bearish, at least for the next few days, maybe the next week, that sort of time frame here, especially while Bitcoin flips more bullish here. If Bitcoin continues a further pump and a further breakout, that can really help XRP and a lot of the altcoin market. And as for support and resistance, we do have a decent amount of support at around $2.15, give or take, based on previous resistance, flipping into new support. And as for resistance, we have a lot of resistance at around 235 to 236, and significant resistance at around 245 to 250. And if we're taking a look at the price of Chainlink on the daily time frame, right now the price of Chainlink is coming in for another retest of this significant area of resistance based on the previous golden pocket area of support, which flipped into significant resistance back here near the end of March, and that's sitting in between around $14.90 to $15.50. So once again, that is acting as strong resistance as we've clearly seen over the last 1 week or so. But despite this still acting as strong resistance for the price of Chainlink, technically speaking, the bullish divergence is still currently active on the daily Chainlink chart. We've not yet fully confirmed any invalidation signals to invalidate this bullish divergence, which means the price is still trying to play out the bullish divergence, but struggling around this resistance. So really, we need to see this further breakout for Bitcoin in order to really help Chainlink to actually break out above this resistance and continue the bullish divergence. And in that situation, if we could see a breakout here above $15.50 with a candle close confirming above that level and ideally holding that as new support, in that situation, the next significant point of resistance, the next immediate price target, would be sitting at around $17.50 to $17.60. And I've also shared recently here on the channel that we have a possible inverse head and shoulders pattern forming here, but in order to actually complete the formation phase for this pattern, we actually need to see a further rejection, a further short-term pullback, and then some sort of bounce in between, let's just say $12.50 to $13 around there, and then come back up and break out above $15.50. So for now, we don't have this inverse head and shoulders pattern actually playing out, but it is possibly forming if we were to see a further rejection here. And so overall, not a lot has changed for Chainlink over the last one day. But once again, if you want to trade any of these moves in the price of any crypto, check out those links below this video to those exchanges if you want to claim those massive bonuses that are only available using those links. And if you want to actually know how you can trade these moves for yourself, like what I'm doing right here to easily profit in the crypto market, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using using long positions or short positions, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.